flip the coin? Okay, I think I want to hear Femi first.
Okay, so age, as it were, would say it's okay to say it's just a number, but then age certainly comes with some certain kind of behaviors and maturity, I want to assume. All right, so you would naturally find a teenager behave like a teenager, and a young adult behave like a young adult, and an adult behave like an adult. So when you say age is just a number, I mean, we have to be careful in what
you don't subscribe
context,
to that.
Yeah, in what context we are referring to. Okay, so for a young guy, I mean, I would say that anything between the age of 25 upwards, it's okay to say you want to settle down, all things being equal. And when I say all things being equal now, if you've actually attained some certain, financial stability.
Okay. So finance is a major thing.
It's a major thing. I mean, maybe because I'm also a finance person.
Yeah, of course. Your conversations are purely financial most times. I like that.
So, all right. So, I mean, because you're going to be practically going into something that you haven't done before. You're going to be taking care of yourself and probably taking care of another individual and expecting other individuals to join that. I mean, so right. So it's a whole lot of responsibilities. So you need some certain level of maturity. So I would say anything from 25, all things being equal, if you've been able to, put some one or two things together for yourself first, and then to be able to accommodate another individual. All right. So on the flip side, like you said,
dating older women now at that age of 25, 26.
Dating older women. I mean,
to be married to them.
Well, why would they want to do that in the first place?
Why not?
All right. So okay. So this is it.
Why not?
This is it. You see, this thing called love. It can work in different ways. You can actually find love with an older person.
Yeah.
Right? But this is what I always say. If your intentions matter in everything you do, all right. So what is the intention?
My intention as a 25-year-old man who is in love with a 36-year-old woman is to marry her.
To marry her. All right. So are you going to be able to cope with the age difference?
Can I chime in something to what you just said? So
yeah.
25 to 36.
Yeah.
Like biologically, the females, they matured faster than the male.
Exactly.
Okay.
So the female tends to mature. Research done now. The female tends to mature around the range of 30, 35. They come to full maturity. While the men probably matured later in the years, 39, 40, 41, 42.
So me, I never stay mature like this.
You just read up on that.
Because I will tell you they talk without now,
like
my brother.
When you gave me an hint on what we'll be talking about, I actually had to go read, just try and see.
Your research.
When you say you are matured, what are you actually looking at?
Yeah.
Okay, you're looking at emotional maturity. We're looking at spiritual maturity. Looking at biological maturity. Mental maturity. And we tend to, even in our society, the law tends to say when you are in some country where you're 16. You're taught to be matured. In some country, when you are 18, 21, you're taught to be matured. You
have the right to vote and the likes.
Yes. But science is saying, even at 25, 26, as a man, some part of your brain is still developing. As a woman,
really?
some part of your brain, is still developing. You are still maturing. You're still learning. You're still not able to even make some right decisions. But as a woman, when you get to 32, 33, 34, yes, that's the peak of what you should have before you probably have a declining in whatever is going on in your body.
Okay.
Yes. Even as a man, when you get to your late 30s, early 40s, that's when you tend to mature. So this is even pointing to the fact that we all have different level, different age that we matured.
Exactly.
But earlier on, see, I think one particular thing we need to look at when we talk about maturity is the emotional maturity. I think is the most important part of maturity.
Is that essentially dependent on age, though?
No, not really, because you need to consider the environment you grew up in,
Okay.
your experiences that things that have happened to you, the culture you grew up in. Those are part of things that contribute to how you matured. The way you see things, the way I probably see things growing up in Lagos will be very, very different from someone who grew up in Kano, someone who grew up in Calabar. Our perspective about life, our perspective about things will be different. You know, like someone who grew up in a village and someone who grew up in the city, their experiences will be different. So the level at which they see things will be different. You know, so whatever.
How does this affect my decision as a young man to marry an older lady?
Oh, okay. As a young man, you grown up in the village. You probably have access to food, access to shelter early than someone who grew up in the city.
How so?
If you're in the village, you probably have less things to think about to spend money on. So you'll be able to concentrate your finance on probably you want to get a house, you want to settle down. Like you said, finance is a major part of settling down. So if you're in the village, you are probably growing your food. You're growing your food. Part of what you grow, you're selling, you're making money. You're doing business. Sorry, I want to quickly state something. The villages is not where the poorest of Nigerians live.
Of course, we have been able to establish that to a large extent.
Yes, so it's a misconception when we have data that says most of the people in the villages
In
are
rural
poor.
areas, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So if someone in the village is able to gather the finances, you have a house over your head, you know, you can provide food. So there are times to, okay, what's the next thing I'm going to do?
Is to get married.
Like get married. But in the city, you're still struggling. You're living with a friend. Will you be thinking of getting married?
Well,
You're living with a friend. You're trying to.
you could still think of it. You could still think of it, but then maybe the feasibility of it might not be the strongest desire.
What's the point of thinking about something you know you cannot actualize? Like anytime soon. You probably think of how to harness your finances first before you even think about getting married.
Okay, so I'll let you hold that thought there because I want to still come to Harrison to see where he stands on this particular conversation.
Right. So I would want to start from the emotional intelligence you spoke about, and I would say it differently.
Okay.
I would like to use the example of the good book.
Okay.
Right. So I would say, to answer the question, how old should a man be or how young should he be before he gets married? To answer that question, I'll put it this way. As long as a man has gotten to that point that Adam got to before God created a woman for him, he can get married.
What point did Adam get to?
As long as he can get to the point that he has discovered his mission, he has discovered his purpose, and he's on that journey, he can now seek a helpmate.
Okay.
Because he needs two good heads are better than one.
Okay.
A one shall chase 1,000 and two shall chase 10,000.
Okay.
Preach,
So
bro.
he needs-
Preach.
So he needs that helpmate at that time. So once he discovers his purpose, and then from the angle of emotional intelligence, once he's now able to rest. Remember when God created Eve, Adam was sleeping, so you had to take the rib from him. So when he has gotten to that point that he can sleep, he can find joy in chaos.
For Lagos, person the rest, so person go to rest for
so
this
that's what I'm
Lagos.
saying. You don't have to rest literally, but you have to rest even in the midst of chaos. When he has gotten to that mental maturity that he knows that, oh, these two shall pass, and then he can quickly navigate through life that way, I believe it is now time for him to seek it.
Okay, so incredible answers I think I've gotten from everybody here today and all of the analytics, and we're talking about age, we're talking about maturity, we're talking about finances, but then there's also this side that I want us to focus on, which is talking about the women, the ladies. So how young is too young for her, for you to be talking to her? Like this scenario I talked about where a 45-year-old is dating a 19-year-old who is in 300 level or even close to 400 level, who will be graduating soon, and they're having conversations, and it's looking at, okay, the moment you graduate, maybe once you're done 7, you'll be 21 or thereabouts, let's get married. There are people who frown at such relationships. Is there a valid ground on which that can be a no-no, where people should say, no, now, okay? And this is someone who has never been married. It's not like he was married or the person he was divorced. It was just someone that, okay, like you said, this is the point where this person has seen, okay, I think I'm ready. I think I found rest. I think I'm good to go now. Now this person is 41 or 45. At least there's a 20-year gap between these two individuals. Do you think there is something wrong with that particular kind of relationship, gentlemen?
So, should I?
Yeah, please go ahead.
I personally, I don't think there's something wrong. I'll explain it using this particular analogy.
Okay.
As a man growing up, actually, you have to fight for everything you need or everything you have, right? So what I mean by that is, as a man growing up at 20, probably no girl is looking at your face.
Yeah, except you're fine and you're already very popular.
At 23, if you don't have your ass, your life, sorry.
Yeah, put your thing together.
If you don't have your life put together, you seldom, in fact, you chase women as opposed to even attracting them. So your life begins to make more meaning. Actually, what I was trying to talk about, the prefrontal cortex that develops in a man at the age of 25. Then you can begin to make smart and sound decisions. You can begin to really differentiate from the wrongs and the right and make decisions that will impact your life long term, right? So at that point, I believe, so I think I lost my line of thought.
So 25-year-old making you're trying to get to the point where you are.
So at the level of 40, probably that's when he began to put his life together. Remember the saying that goes towards that life begins at 40. I've seen someone who got married at 50.
But was
for
it
the first time of Timber and Caliber? Now the men around him were praising him. Why? Because he had a very successful business. So everybody were saying that the reason why he stayed that long was because he was trying to build a very successful and sustainable business. Then he can train his wife. And this is actually if you check it very well, it's very popular in the southeastern area of Nigeria. Most southeastern men actually need this kind of advice.
We can't make that on a basis of we have the facts. This is just basically something that we are observing.
Yeah, exactly.
We cannot make that assumption on like we've done the statistical check.
So when a man dates down right at that level, I believe that's the best thing. I mean, we have the example.
You think it's the best thing?
So we have the example, a very good example, very popular example.
You want to say the senator, yeah?
Well, I mean, so I mean, he even brags.
But you know that's not his first wife.
That's what I want to say. So he even brags about it. That even his first wife. Have you seen the picture of his first wife?
Well, okay, so
very young woman.
Let's hear from the other gentlemen in the studio. So yeah, of course, a 45-year-old man, a 50-year-old man dating someone in their 20s or even younger.
So I was going to talk about the old lady, but
okay, so we'll get to that.
A man dating down is not actually the problem for me.
Okay, so what is the problem?
But the disparity
in age. 20 years is too much.
Yeah, of course now. Are you going to be dating somebody that's like your daughter or something? So for me, I think, even
I know someone who falls into that, and in fact, people didn't say he was wrong. Someone who actually has a wife that is 20 years younger than he is.
Different strokes for different folks. You get so. But this is how I say it. Okay, so if the disparity is too much for me, I think, I want to be able to believe that my wife or my partner were
understand
thinking,
your thought process.
God bless you, sir. Understand my thought. In some certain areas we are thinking on the same level. We are doing things.
Your wavelength is close.
It's close. Not like when I'm talking to I have to deal with somebody who. I probably think I'm talking to my daughter.
Why? How? Why did you have to go there? I know you was going to go to Gen Z.
For me to bring that kind of person up to speed to my certain level of reasoning.
True.
All right.
But certain men like women that they can train, tend to like build up, help to get to the level they are. Someone who is almost quote unquote subservient to them.
Yeah, but for me, and interestingly, most of our parents, even grandparents did this very well. Because, for some of us, my dad took, like 10 years from my mom.
Okay, so you're a product of those kind of relationships.
Yeah, but I think 10 years is still okay. But
we'll go on a quick break.
20,
We'll go on a quick break. When we come back, of course, we will talk about it and open the phone line so Lagos could weigh in. Is a 20-year-old gap between a man and a woman, whether up or down, whether the lady is older or the man is older, is a 20-year gap too much? And we need you to tell us why. We'll be going on a quick break. When we return, we'll revisit this conversation and more.
Ladies and gentlemen,
new day is dawning.
Okay, welcome back. Still is Dear Man on Super FM 92.7, your one family, one radio station. It's 11:31 a.m. It's a Monday. It's the 10th day in the month of February 2025. And Love and Lamba is upon us, of course, this Friday, 5 to 8 p.m. Love and Lamba. If you've not registered at the website for you and your beautiful wife, or you and that's your beautiful lady, you could actually go to www.superfm.online/love and Lamba. Please register there and avail yourself of an opportunity to have great meals, great conversations, have a panel session, get to meet some of your favorite OAPs and be a part of greatness this Valentine's Day. Now, we're talking about age, maturity, and some of the indices that exist when we are looking at marriages and the likes of that. Now, someone said that if she's too young or if she's in a particular generation, you shouldn't marry her. You're 20 years older than the person, you're 30 years older than the person, you're 10 years older than the person. It's a no-no. But then we're here with the gentleman today. I think so far so good. Just Harrison has agreed with the fact that it's a thing of the mind. Femi begs to differ. He's like, nah. He's going to feel like he's raising his daughter when he's married to someone he's 20 years older than. Meanwhile, Femi's dad is 10 years was 10 years older than his mom.
I mean, 10 years is
I know someone on present company whose father is 20 years older than the mother.
Oh, well.
And they've had a very, very successful relationship.
OSYB. Let me chime something. See, I think the 20-year age difference will bring something to the man.
What is it?
Like a certain level of maturity, of calmness to handle any situation.
Definitely.
So a man who has seen whatever the lady is bringing to the relationship, you probably would have seen much, except he has not been active in the dating pool.
Yeah,
before
probably
then.
Wasn't active. Okay, let's talk about the fact that
if he has been active, you would probably have seen much of what the lady will be bringing
Can I say
into
something
the
to you?
relationship.
If I was 55 years old, never been married, and I marry a 35-year-old woman, would we still be having this conversation about maturity or not?
No, I don't think we will be.
But it's a 20-year gap.
Yeah. Now you're bringing another. Now you're bringing another scenario.
It's a 20-year-old gap.
You were saying 20. You were saying ladies in their 20s. Now you're saying in their 30s.
But it's a 20-year gap.
Like what I started with, a lady at 35 should be fully matured. Even a lady at 35.
You've not met 35-year-old women who would shock
most of them. A lady at 35 will probably be ready to commit. Will probably be ready. Will be ready to even take in some men's.
Okay, so let's see who this caller is
like,
and listen to what they have to say. Hello, good morning. Yes, good morning. What's your name? Where you? Oh, hold on. We need to get this real quick. Of course, someone is trying to join in the conversation, and we need to quickly put that there. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Okay, my name is Emmanuel. I'm calling from Ikeja.
Emmanuel from Ikeja. Okay, please go ahead. Let's have your point of view.
All right, let me jump into the conversation. First off, quite an interesting one. I'm currently 48, never been married. So bit of sharing my experience.
Okay.
I've been in the dating pool, in and out. Dating to marry. I mean, I've had like 3 incidents where I was that close. It was serious leading to marriage, but for some reason, they didn't pull through. Now, first, let me start with the age difference. I don't think right now a 20-year gap will be like I hit the brakes on that. So anything but 10, 5, kind of. And reason being that even with this, I don't feel I'm that old.
Yeah.
So I don't want to get in there and feel, I feel like a papa. Get almost 50. Let's slow it down. Yeah. No, I'll still want to do if I probably is 35 or even 28. Yes, the age thing is just in the mind, right? And so the person I'm dealing with will have to bring that kind of energy. But I think for women, I don't know, stand to be corrected. If they get within the same age bracket they probably are slower. In approaching things, they feel, at this stage, I can't be all that everywhere, hype people. I want to wear my shorts and still be that young guy and still live my life.
Yeah.
But now I'm very intentional about, approaching when it comes to dating and finding someone. So if you ask me, I'd say, okay, going forward, somebody within that, say, 5, even 4, I mean, in their 40s, yes, or late 30s, will do. And, as long as we both have that same vibe and values.
But Emmanuel, sorry to ask you this question. Would you be open to dating someone who is a little older or even older than you are?
That's older. So like I said, 48, that means somebody at 50.
50, 51, 52.
It's so, I mean, I won't totally rule that out. I had that option at some point and I cringed and I literally ran away. I mean, that was presented to me this like as long as like 7-8 years ago.
Wow.
But now again, I'm like, okay, if that person like gonna be like slower than I am, because I just feel like this life is live it once. I mean, I don't know, for a lady that's probably at 50, they feel like, listen, what is there again? Just marry and sharp, just be there. But I don't know, to be fair.
On a different wavelength. Thank you so much, Emmanuel, for calling and being so
man.
vulnerable.
Thanks,
we
guys.
appreciate you. Thank you so much for calling in. Well, so Emmanuel, hitting the nail on the head.
I think Emmanuel is a social butterfly.
At this age?
Yeah, like you just said it. The energy, you just want to wear your shorts, you just want to be out there.
So he's
enjoy your life.
an old man in a young boy's body.
Yeah,
Of course.
like that's practically what I'm working towards. That's practically me. So like he would rather enjoy his life. Don't need.
Okay, let's take that call. Hello, good morning. Hello. Okay, so that person would definitely have to call us back. 08050920927 or 0705-890-4927. You could also call 0802-502-7711 or send a WhatsApp message to 0705-6900927. Oh, age difference. What age is too big? What age is too small? Is there anything like, this person is too young, you shouldn't be dating that person? Yeah. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from? This is Dear Man.
This is Toby from Bariga. It's been an interesting program, Mike.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, like you said, see, this 20 years, in those days, it was easy. Yeah, because the value, the everything, the thinking faculty of them that time was somehow kind of higher than now. But now, now we are, let me these Gen Z people that we have now, they are kind of reasoning. I'm talking from experience, though. They're kind of reasoning now is kind of different from the how far our generation downward. And my own is 10 years now. I have a 10 years gap between me and some of them trying to get married to. And sometimes you be thinking something else, and their own thinking will be something else. I was just like, what are we saying? What are you saying?
You have to start tutoring.
And we can't force them. The kind of friends they have.
So it's a different experience, totally different from where you are.
Yeah, exactly. They have a very different experience, different reasoning from where you are. So sometimes you might be frustrated. Sometimes. So anybody that is going down that route, any man that's going down that route must be ready.
Okay. Thank you very much, Toby. Thank you very much, Toby. We appreciate you for calling us and giving us the time that you've given us. So, you were going to say something.
Yeah, I think social media has a role to play in all of this because we were saying right before the social media age, this thing could probably work. You had parents, grandparents, and made this thing work. But now, the average lady coming up on social media, seeing what is and what she has an image of what she wants to be. Then you have a man, like a fully grown man now, in his 40s, like he's seen that, done that. So he just needs to just calm down. Then you have someone who is in her 20s.
But Emmanuel,
didn't
seem like he wants to calm down. He's still ready to wear his shorts and go out on the town.
And what did he say after that? What did he say?
Well, of course, the mindset, the person has to come with the same level of energy and stuff.
So, and he was saying 5 years, 10 years. He didn't go close to 20 years.
He talked 28. He said he's 48. If he sees a 28-year-old that is mature, I think he said that in the mix.
So, but majorly, he was
going towards the 5-10 year age difference. But then I do not feel the problem is, I might be wrong. I do not feel the problem is the fact that there's that 20-year gap. That means that people in the Gen Z are generally not prepared for what marriage or the relationship in marriage has to be. I think it's the conversation around handling and understanding a generation that might be different from ours. Don't you guys think so? Do you not want to give that chance, or maybe that level to think?
As much as would also say that, age is not, not to be considered in this thing. But I also want to believe that there are people who are much older and are very matured. All right. So I have seen a 25-year-old lady or guy behave so maturely, like somebody who is already in his 40s or in her 40s. In terms of composure, in terms of maturity, and all. So for me, to balance, this discussion, I'll say that sometimes you would actually meet people who are younger but are very matured. All right. So sometimes age is not even maturity.
Yeah.
To be honest. So actually, age is not even maturity. So you'll see some older persons behave in a certain way. You'll be like, and this one says it's 40. How can you say you're 40? And then
at your age.
At your age. You hear that a lot. Say at your age.
At your age. Yeah, we've heard that a lot.
At your age. And then you'll see younger guys or younger ladies, behave in a certain way. You'll be like, oh, how did you say... how did he say he is? And like, you're 25 and you're behaving a certain this way. All right, so age sometimes, all right. So it's not really a measure
of maturity. Yeah. So
it depends on how you were brought up. Like my friend mentioned. SB said. The environment where you were brought up, has a vital role to play in your maturity.
Yeah.
How were you brought up? Which school did you attend? Who did you mingle with? Who were your friends?
Yeah.
Right? Even the way your parents brought you up, some things you were taught. All right. So these are the things that shapes our maturity. Okay. So what were you exposed to early enough in life?
Yeah.
All right. For some of us, we had the opportunity of becoming independent very, very early in life. Like, I think after secondary school, I was already out of my mother's house, right? Of my father's house after secondary school. And I don't think I ever came back until I got married and had kids. Right? For some people, at some certain age, and that happens a lot, even we see that a lot happens. At 35, you see some guys still living in their parents' house. So yeah, you call that maturity.
So but then mentally and the likes, he has matured.
He has matured, but then, has he really matured?
Has he been able to exert himself?
Exactly.
And there are people who have even maybe earned so much, they've made all the money, they have the money, but they've not moved out of their parents' house for reasons best known to them.
Yeah.
Could be business.
Different strokes for different folks, actually.
So for I heard a story of a lady who was involved with a guy, and then after getting involved for some months, then he asked the guy, how far? Where are we heading to? And then when she visited him, she noticed that he was still living in his parents' house. And she was like, no, Oga, we can't. When are you moving out from here? Before we start talking about marriage. And the guy was like, why should I move out from here? And the lady said, no, if you're not ready to move out from here, then, I don't think this will work.
So in that aspect, would you say that guy is not mature? Because I think it's just a thing of choice about where to live.
Yeah, exactly. So I believe in the Indian culture, they have this way where brothers don't leave their house because you're trying to minimize how much they spend on rent. So instead of moving out of your parents' house, what they do is all of them work together, put funds together and buy another building. And they keep buying buildings and keep...
So they have this communal way of raising their families. If you watch their movies, you see like 10 people are living together and they always have brother G, sister G and the likes.
So yeah, we cannot completely rule that out. That it did. I know of some family members how the person who actually got the wealth, how he built his house is such that, I don't know, I think you mentioned something like that even on this show. It's such that you can live
of course,
comfortably.
The day we were talking about the guy whose in-laws were trying to offer him a job.
Exactly. So you can live comfortably in the compound. I think nobody is disturbing. You are probably living in that duplex in the compound. So why do you want to live that kind of house? So that's okay.
So I was going to say, even from the financial aspect, it could actually even be a plus for the guy.
Yeah.
He's probably out there saving some for. If you live in Lagos, if you know what house rent is in Lagos,
we know.
and you have a man. Some of us. You have a man who is trying to. You have a man who is trying to grow his business. You have a man who is trying to grow his business.
Yeah.
He's not going to live in his father's house for life forever.
But that
So
could be a red flag for a lady who would say, that guy will still live with his papa. And
then-
you are not looking at the fact that
I
this
don't-
is a man that owns a business that is
If
worth 30 million
he
naira.
could put out his vision to her, let her know what he is trying to do. Like, this is not where we get married. This is not where we're going to stay.
What if that's where you will stay for a few months?
Okay, so
He's just said for a few months, not forever.
Or even for some years.
So,
I like-
for some people,
And
that's
he's
a
trying to
deal
build-
breaker. The fact that you want to live in your father's house.
Then,
So I
then
like
she's not
something
for
you
him.
said, yeah.
Then
I
she's
like
not for
something-
him.
Exactly. That's what I
So,
just
so
wanted
let's
to
now
say.
look at it the same way. If you can make that excuse for a man that, he's 35, but he living with his father because he has a plan, he wants to do this, he wants to do that.
A plan
Let's
is working on.
Let's also look at the fact that, the lady is 20 or 21, she's from a different generation and she wants to think about things differently as opposed to the way the entire generality of the public looks at it, or the school of thoughts where you're coming from sees it as, that is a lack of maturity. But what if to her it makes perfect sense?
How do you mean?
I
I don't understand the question.
What
More
if it makes common sense? What if it makes perfect sense to her that there are certain things that you understand as the best way of life. You understand at your level of maturity and whatsoever. For instance, you want her to dress a certain way. Or you don't want her to see social media as a proper standard. You understand? But then there are people who have built a life out on social media. People who have built an income on that particular thing. Who the numbers favor. The fact that, you have this number of followers and this, that can eventually become a way for you to
Like,
generate
you're always
income.
getting dragged on Twitter.
You get. And that drag is what gives you numbers.
Is what gives you number. And it's
and then-
projecting.
and then
And
brands-
what's he projecting on you
and
as,
brands, wait.
as the lady?
And brands are coming to you. What is it projecting on you as a man? A 45-year-old man, a 35-year-old man who still lives with his father.
Like,
Meanwhile, there are some
a business
35-year-old.
decision.
You are seeing it as a business decision. It's a business decision for her as well to see that the fact that I'm
getting
going to cause
getting
chaos on
ridiculed.
Twitter. I'm going to cause chaos on Twitter
I say
today,
something, but-
and I'll get numbers. And at the end of
Yeah.
the day, one brand will come and give me money
so-
to promote their products.
So what I believe is to each his
But
own.
it's advice for you.
What I believe is to each his own. Different strokes for different folks.
Yeah.
See, the first thing is first. As a man making a decision to get married, you must go. Let me use another part of the good book. Yeah, I think it was Solomon who said, whether in Ecclesiastes or Proverbs, he said, wealth and riches you can inherit from your parents, but a wife, a good wife, only the Lord can grant you. So if you have said
So
that,
what makes her a good wife?
So what? Let me complete what I'm saying. So men of God basically they look for whom God has created for them. I was having a conversation with some folks. I belong to a particular social club, and we were having a conversation. They were like, okay, now I have to put it out there. I'm single, right? So apparently,
So ladies,
in that
you hear a
club-
sweet voice.
in that club.
Find him on Instagram. He's single.
So apparently in that club, I'm the only person who's still single. Every other person is married. Even the guys who are on my age, who probably went to the same school,
Age
and
range
all of
with
that.
you.
So they're all married. I'm the only one who's single. And so we're having this conversation where they are saying, go and get married and all of that.
We'll
And
probably have an episode
so-
where we'll go
so-
find Harrison a wife.
so finally, what I said, while they were talking about the conversation, they were trying to say, it doesn't have to be perfect. And I just answered one question and all of them were quiet. They said, what are you looking for now? I said, I am looking for the person whom God has created for me. And everybody was quiet. Now, I believe it is the sole duty of a man to keep searching until he find that which is perfectly in alignment.
Regardless of the age of the person.
Regardless of the age, actually. So, for example, Emmanuel Macron got married to
his teacher.
He's 47.
To his-
his wife
to
is
his-
71.
to his
and
class
he's benefiting
teacher.
from it, all right? So, that's why I said different folks for different...
different strokes for different folks.
All right. So,
I think it's the African men in my friends, yeah. SB and
I was going to say
SB and
something.
SB
I was
and
going to say something. Like, even in
FEMI.
this age disparity, I think wealth has a role to play.
wealth on whose part, the male or the female?
The male, majorly. Okay, using the example of the
Macron?
our senator,
Okay.
yeah, senator, like
The senator,
do you
in Nigeria,
like,
we know him.
Do you think if he's not as rich as he is, what is happening right now? Will he be able to, or will she be married to him?
Actually, he prides himself on the fact that he has that wealth. That's why he's doing what he's doing.
You understand? Like
He
money,
said it.
So it's a function of money.
like money has a great
I-
role
Function
to
of
play.
finance.
Yeah, and I wanted to
Like,
say also,
what-
even the guys, even
So
the
even if
guys
he's not
who-
mature, he has money, he can just marry
Like
at
the
any
lady,
age.
money attracts ladies. some ladies.
Some ladies.
Some ladies.
Most ladies.
Some ladies. We've not done. You know,
See,
when you say most,
some-
we've
you
not
know-
done.
you know-
We've not done the statistics.
You know, some
I know
ladies
ladies
will
who
tell
have
you-
turned down.
Some ladies will tell
car
you.
keys.
But at least we have the statistics from divorce. cases.
Let's always
Most
why
of
be
the
have the
things-
say.
most of the
We
things-
know. Let him have the say.
You know,
Let
one
him have
thing.
the say.
One thing that I would always like to say is that, see, except we've done the math, we've seen the
I'm
statistics.
telling you,
Yeah.
the
We-
statistics.
the
highest
statistics.
case of divorce actually was caused by financial the finances in the family.
Yeah, regardless, you when
So-
you get money, you like yourself when you don't get money, my brother.
How you take no say I don't get money?
No. When you don't get money, when you don't get money,
No,
I'm not
actually,
saying you
as
don't
a
get
man-
money.
as a man, you
you
can't-
even
why
don't
would-
like yourself.
they
We,
would
I
like
like
yourself
myself.
when
Why
you-
would
But
you
then-
not like yourself?
No,
But then,
oh,
bro,
wow.
but to
Because
Why
that's
would
not
I
the-
like
if
not-
you-
why would I
if you-
not-
if when you don't have money or when you don't have purpose, it means you're mediocre.
No.
Yeah,
Not
because-
like
because
you love yourself. See, like
Oh,
I do say
think you're
something.
aggressive, but it's fine.
Like I do say something.
Yeah.
Life is a journey.
Mm.
Like it's not a destination. Enjoy it every step of the way.
Bro, okay, so bro, why?
So,
Well,
like,
after you have
the
made
fact
that
that-
known,
wait,
fa-
the
you know
fact
what we're
that
trying
I
to
don't
correct?
have money
What
now-
we were trying to correct was the notion that women are attracted to money.
Money.
And I'm saying that every human being likes money.
Not every, not
But
every
you cannot say
women
that
are
what will
attracted
make
to
a,
money.
most
But we
women
know-
what will make most women marry you is the fact that you're financially stable. We've seen women who have gone into one room with a man that had nothing.
We didn't say all women.
So you
We
can't.
didn't say
The fact that
all
we can't
women.
say all. Yeah, no. Of course, we had to correct it. You know that the fact that there was a innuendo in the room that says maybe most
Most
women
But we know
towards potential
Security.
and security
you know some
in a man,
Yeah.
which
yeah.
would
You
not
know-
necessarily be guaranteed by money.
You know some ladies will come out. I'll tell you. I'll go prefer make her dey cry in a limousine.
Even me, I say it as a man.
You know, make them dey beat you, dey cry in a
Even
limousine.
me, I say it as a
Yeah,
man.
heard
so
that from
this
the
is
lady
just
last
saying.
week.
So this is
Even
just
me as a
saying.
man, I say
You will
it.
take the bullshit if money is
Language.
involved.
You will take the bull if
Yeah,
money
yeah,
is involved. Yeah.
Sorry. When money is involved, instead of or rather than sitting with someone who is not wealthy and probably still giving you peace of mind. But I don't know how that would probably will. No,
There are a lot of women, Sean, that will
There are
shock
people-
you.
there are people- yeah,
There are women who
actually,
will
I
shock
know.
you. But
I know
then
women who even invest in a man.
Yeah,
a
I
man.
know.
there are women who have actually done that, who have invested in a
Yes.
man that they found will give them peace of mind, but didn't even have the financial wherewithal. But then,
At what age?
let's.
Okay,
But-
that's
but
another
really,
They were young.
come-
They were young.
come
They
to
were young
think of
women.
it,
Conversation.
Come to think of it, right? I mean, if let's do a statistics of, I mean, women who have actually married men who are far older than them. I mean, maybe like 20, 15 years older. If you do the statistics, we'll find out that most of the reason most times is because of finances. It's because those men
Always why
we
we say
cannot
category.
we cannot categorically
Good money.
say
So
that.
because-
We don't have the facts to back it up.
Oh,
So
no,
saying
no,
that
exactly.
will be
Because
fallacy of AC generalization on a radio
on
station.
a normal day, what will make a young lady of, let's say, 25, I mean, go marry a 45-year-old?
True love.
Not money. No,
True love.
Most times not
True love. That's
Okay.
we do not have the
So-
statistics to back it up.
So she cannot
Femi,
find true love.
I
in
like
a
what
20-year-old guy.
is
Femi, let me tell you something.
Wait,
Let me tell you
cannot find
something.
True love in a 20-year-old.
Let me tell you something,
28-year-old
yeah.
guy,
Let me
in a
tell you something.
30-year-old guy,
Femi,
in
as
a
we begin to
You're
wrap
probably
it
on
up.
the same social
Of the same
pedestal.
social-
No.
Yeah.
Let's talk about
As it has
this.
to go
Women
as
like
far as
older
50,
men. Wait,
60.
see, women like older men because these men will not give them the usual wahala that younger men would. The issues around cheating, the issues around the fact that some of these guys are not
OSYB.
even
So,
properly put
older
together.
men don't cheat.
No, I'm telling you that some older men do not cheat.
Likewise.
You don't have the statistics. Right?
But, we don't, but the truth is, women who marry older men most times are doing it for the peace of mind as well,
For security.
and for security and for love, but not
Always why we
essentially
don't collect
finances. I don't collect bribe. I'm just trying to balance the
collect
conversation.
When you talk about security for most women, finances.
When you talk about security for most
Majorly.
women, it is peace of mind.
Not really peace
It is
of
peace
mind.
of mind,
I think-
maturity.
I think
The
it's
fact that
how-
this, when they talk to these men, they know that knowledge comes.
Exactly. I think it is how the,
That's
the,
the
woman's
the
brain is
papi-
wired.
The papi vibe
That's
now.
why. That's why it is a viable economy.
I think it is how the woman's brain is wired. The woman is always looking for someone who's a lookalike of her father.
They say,
You
Sometimes.
understand? Most times.
they say
That's why.
women are loyal to their emotions.
Yeah.
Mostly.
Yeah.
So
Is that a factual thing to say?
Oh,
But
well.
we've got to go. A lady is about
I said this.
to walk into the studio, and I'm even tempted to ask her this question. But then we've got to go. I wanted to ask you that. So these gentlemen are saying something that they know nothing about, and I would like for you to say something as well. But I asked that is it they are saying that most women who marry older men are doing that basically because they want money. Is that true? Is that a truth that you can refute or maybe agree to?
When you say older men, please tell
Okay,
us
so
the
there's a 20-year difference
Exactly.
in their age. A 45-year-old man marrying a 21-year-old. Is it essentially because the man is rich?
It depends.
Love,
More
Abi.
often than not, money. But then, love,
Please,
in
help
some cases,
me.
love.
In a lot of cases, love. Thank you very much, Kimberly.
In those cases are outliers.
But we've got to go. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming into the studio and making Dear Men of fun conversations today. It was quite beautiful to have you guys here. Thank you so much, SB,